I want to say over the last year, I've become like really obsessed with the idea of getting like a replica Diablo or a replica Countach. I saw a replica, so it was like a P4 Ferrari, like an old one from the 50s or 60s that was gorgeous looking.
Right.
And the idea that you could own a car that, you know, could be worth over $1 million, probably several $1 million for a fraction of the price that looks 95% the same thing, seems really appealing to me. Even the Diablo that's behind you, I was looking at that. It's like, I'd rather have this because I know for myself, driving a real thing, I'd never drive it. I'd be terrified of it. But driving a replica, it's totally fine. You don't have to worry about putting miles on it. It's bulletproof.
If you want to do a replica of something like a little newer, I don't know, like a Ferrari, you know, Enzo or like just spitballing here, something that's like made in the last 20 years and you want a replica of that. Usually the way you do a replica car is by stretching frames and, you know, you're getting a 88 Pontiac Fiero and then just putting whatever engine in that. But then you end up with a car that's literally hodgepodge together. And that becomes really, really unsafe, even though it looks the part and whatever. But like if you get in a car accident, like who knows what happens when, you know, this car doesn't have crumple zones. So does the engine just fall in your lap? Like what happens? So I'm more worried about that end of things. At least when I give people like, say, you know, the keys to a Porsche GT3 or Aston Martin DBS, like those are factory cars and they have airbags and stuff like that. They have like safety systems. So I know if they do get sideways or whatever, it won't be the end of the world. It's still a very safe car.
Yeah, that makes sense. For me, I think there's something appealing about getting an 80s or 90s car that is a replica that is like one-to-one. Some of these guys spend so much money and time building out these cars.
You know, it's so crazy, and I don't get it because the replica cars, the replica car people, I just need to say they're insane. They are crazy people because these guys, they spend 20 years building this. And it's like, dude, if you just got a job, any job, and you spent all this time working on this, you would have bought the real car in like half the time. Like you didn't have to have a replica. Like you would have like, and these people are building Countachs. Like, yeah, I built a Countach in 20 years. I'm like, bro, 20 years ago, they were like free. Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? Like what, now they're $1 million, but like, what are, it just,
what's even crazier is they go and buy genuine parts, too.
Yes.
They're like, I bought the real taillights from the real thing and the real emblems and the real...
So, like, you have all the retail markup on this stuff. And then what are they
But
what
it's
are they
a
saying?
good deal if you buy it. Because they never get their money back from
No, because the divorce took everything away from those men. No, I think I like the idea of replicas. Just if they're... I guess there's a weird thing in me where I want to have like a one up on the man, you know? So like the Diablo behind me, you know, that costs 20, 30 grand. But if you got a real one, a real like 99 VT Roadster, that's $400,000. Is it 10x the car? Probably not. You know, like, so if you put in another 30 or 40 grand in that, like you can make it look very, very, very convincing. So I think that would be like a good value. But then a part of me is just thinking like, it's a fake handbag. And like, who are you really fooling? You know, like, are you trying to fool people or are you just trying to have like a fun time? For me, it's just like, it's a fun time. I know it's fake. Like if I ever, you know, get that car and register it, I'd put like fake Lambo on the license plate or something. Yeah. I'd make it very clear that this is not a real Lamborghini. But there are people who are like, oh yeah, well, I have my Lamborghini. It just so happens to have a Chevy 350 in it. You know, I do that because it's more reliable. But yeah, I just never get those people.